Gauteng province chairperson and has been re-elected uncontested. Congratulations are in order.
Thank you very much, Leah.
Absolute pleasure. Were you confident that you were going to be re-elected?
Well, indications were that many branches had nominated me, but you know, in the ANC you allow processes to run their course, because at a conference somebody can also be elected from the floor. So until it is done, you wait.
You wait. Anything can happen at that last minute.
Exactly.
Indeed. Well, congrats, and we wish you luck going forward.
Thank you very much.
Not luck, I suppose it's strategic work that needs to be put in place, because there's a lot of work that needs to be done here in Gauteng in the province. I mean, we saw the ANC losing some support in this province. That must be a big concern for you.
No, it is. That's why we are paying attention to all the concerns of our citizens here. If you look at the conference, the focus has mainly been on the economy. How do we grow the economy faster? What changes we need to bring in? Hence, we're using the concept of radical social and economic transformation. Now, really, that means we need fundamental changes. If you look at our resolutions, they clearly state that we need to change the structure of the South African economy so that there's more beneficiation in the country. Instead of extracting minerals and exporting them out, we should produce finished products here, increase local production, create jobs. But we also want more black people into the economy. Hence, we have proposed that in the next 15 years, we should move ownership of black people to minimum 49%, but also increase beneficiation to more than 30% of our mineral resources. We have also advocated for the establishment of a state bank to support this radical program, and also a skills revolution. Because if you drive this kind of radical program, you need requisite skills to be able to do that. Because often people argue that we can't do beneficiation because we don't have the skills. So it's important that we focus on that as well. So there are a lot of issues that conference discuss. Of course, as you said, including e-tolls as well.
Let's talk about the e-tolls, because it's a huge turn that's been taken. I remember interviewing you just before the elections. I'm sure you'll remember it as well. We were in Cullinan, we had all the political parties, you of course representing the ANC. We brought up e-tolling. Parties like the EFF, the DA, very much against it. You defending it, saying, no, this is the way to go and there is no other option. Things now seem to have changed. What's your stance now, your official stance?
You'll recall, Ian, that our earlier position as the ANC in Gauteng was to ensure that there's affordability of the system. We propose, for instance, that the rates should be decreased. You remember we proposed a minimum, maximum, in fact, 500 a month to be paid. We propose that public transport vehicles be exempted, like taxis, buses. That was our initial proposal, because we were concerned about affordability. But by the time we got to conference, we had to appreciate that despite that, our members and people here in Gauteng are still saying the system is expensive, they get huge bills, etc. So for them, the system is not working. So we are a very listening organization as the ANC. We don't close our eyes and ears. When residents are saying, look, we can't afford the system, we can't continue to say no, we don't care. So we had to look at this matter seriously, and conference said, we don't support the system, go back and ensure that you look at other alternatives. So it's not like people don't want to pay, but they are saying this system in its current form is not working for them.
All right. Are you just listening now and opening your ears because of the 2016 local government elections and you need those votes and this is one way of winning them?
No, not at all. In fact, even if there was no election, we would address this matter in the same seriousness that we are doing. It's important that we must find ways to ensure that we have systems that help us to grow the economy. And currently people are saying, in fact, e-tolls are inhibiting that. So elections or not, we want this matter resolved speedily.
There was an initial report that President Jacob Zuma was not happy with this stance. Then that statement was retracted. Yesterday we heard Mac Maharaj, in fact, in our news bulletin saying the president does not feel that way, and that's not a part of it. Have you heard from the president since your election?
Not yet, but the president did send a message yesterday that he's quite okay with our proposal. And in fact, he also indicated that he was consulted by the Premier. So he was quite aware about this approach to review the impact of e-tolling. We will, of course, brief him in the course of this week.
And your relationship with our president?
Very good.
Good. Lord, I'm happy to hear. That's a good thing. Your relationship with the Premier of Gauteng seems to be good, though. The two of you, of course, I mean, there's two centres of power, you being the chair, and, of course, our Premier, David Makhura. How does it work, the relationship between the two of you?
Well, we indicated at that conference that the centre is only the ANC. We are just individuals who are given responsibilities. So we work very well together. In fact, every Monday we are together at the ANC to look at issues. So he's going to focus a lot in driving government programs, and I will focus a lot in working with the secretary to drive the ANC programs with other officials. We will complement one another, and you'll see there'll only be one centre.
You in your opening speech, you said something quite profound. You spoke about the kind of leadership that should not tolerate shenanigans but serve with humility, tolerance and respect. Do you feel that this is the message that is resonating throughout the organisation now, at this point in the ANC?
Most definitely. You know, the ANC has grown, particularly since after its unbanning. A lot of people have come in. Some of them did not quite understand the values of this organisation. So you're expected to have challenges and difficulties. But I think this message is resonating well. If you looked at that conference there, it was, you know, a kind of conference where you saw a lot of discipline, orderly. In fact, we were quite happy that, you know, even little things, somebody loses a credit card, somebody will come to us at the table and said, we found a credit card, car keys, and so on. So you can see that we are now beginning to have members who understand what it is to be in the ANC and lead the people. It's not about yourself, but it's about serving.
Yeah. I mean, we also saw our Deputy President, Cyril Ramaphosa, appealing to delegates for unity within the party and not to lose touch with the electorate. They're trying to portray that the ANC is a listening party and not an arrogant party. And yet that's been the perception. A lot of your supporters have felt that ANC is not listening. It's being arrogant. It has power, and that's all that counts. Obviously, you're trying to shake off this reputation.
Most definitely. We don't want the ANC to have an image that is arrogant, it's not listening, or it tolerates corruption. We're changing all that because we can see that if we don't act decisively, that's how we will be defined. And that's not the ANC. So going into the future, we want the ANC that people have always known, that has leaders who lead with humility, leaders with integrity, leaders who put people first.
All right, let's leave it there. Thank you for joining us, and we really do wish you luck going forward, and we just hope that this province, with the City of Gold in it, benefits from your leadership. Paul Mashatile, the ANC chair of the Gauteng province, talking to us here on Morning Live. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, the time now is 5 minutes before 7. Are we